Do you see it on your side?
We are live, dear.
Okay. Welcome everyone to another Facebook Live with Dr. Nelva Bryant. My name is Greta Russo, and this, of course, is Dr. Nelva Bryant. Please, Dr. Bryant, tell everyone who you are.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks for joining in with us today. I'm Dr. Nelva Bryant. I'm a veterinarian. I work in the airline industry. I do work with Delta Airlines, and I was brought on staff to review and revise policies for animal transportation. And I love that role. Within that role, though, I've started noticing some things that potentially there's, as far as a need for education for pet owners, for animal transporters, or just anyone shipping animals in general. There's an educational need, and I developed When Pets Fly and to share this information with the urging. Let's see, we've been going on strong now for about 3 years. Greta joined, and we've been together for 2 years, and just really benefiting from this partnership. Basically, with her urging, we started the Facebook Lives that we have right now. And it's to introduce folks to the different stakeholders of the animal transportation industry. Everyone that we kind of interview have some stakeholder within animal transportation. So that's what we've been doing. And yes, Greta, I know you introduced yourself briefly, but you can tell them more because you really are a strong backbone of what we do. So please share more about yourself.
My name is Greta Russo, and I specialize in marketing, PR, and events. And so I've just been helping Dr. Bryant grow her brand, and so that she can get her messaging out to the world and be a gift to everyone as much as possible. So that's what I do. But just to edify your timeline a little bit, we're coming up on our 3rd anniversary with Facebook Lives, believe it or not.
Right.
Not second. So I've been with you for 3. Did you start a year before I came on?
I was actually, you know what? I had When Pets Fly started probably a year before you.
Okay. So you've been in business for 4 years.
Yes, I had started it, but I was smaller. I was just doing on Facebook. I had my Facebook group and I was sharing information that way. But when you joined, we kind of really expanded because now we have a website, whenpets.com. If you guys don't know, check out our revamped website. And we've expanded further with, like I said, when we have a Facebook page. We do have a group. I do the group, but Greta primarily takes care of the page for me. We've expanded also for Instagram posts as well, so our presence is there, and then also on LinkedIn. So we're kind of expanded tremendously. And time flies, Greta. You know what? I'm forgetting the time, but so 3 years. 3 years. On the 22nd, in 11 more days, we'll be celebrating 3 years. So that's pretty exciting. And even more exciting is that you've had this for 4 years. And I guess you're wondering, where did the time go? It is. Where's the time going? And we're busy with it because in a lot of ways, because of what we're doing, as far as me on a personal note with When Pets Fly, I've expanded. I'm doing presentations, more and more presentations now at veterinary conferences to share with my veterinary colleagues on just the regulations of pet travel, international pet travel. Actually, I'll be doing something soon with DBM 360 in reference to that in Atlantic City, and then also in Long Beach in December. So that I've written articles for various veterinary magazines or journals. And so it's just been going and going and going. But time is flying. And yeah, you forget, time flies when you're having fun, right? You just, before you know, it's almost like, Greta, it's almost like having a child. You remember when they were younger, then all of a sudden they're grown and you're out the house. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you're in it, you're like, oh my God, when will I get through high school?
Yeah, another year. All I can say, remember we were talking offline, we were talking about my schedule last year compared to this year. I've slowed down so much because I was all over the place and so busy last year, going places and doing things, but I'm not doing that as much, but it feels like I'm still at that pace. So yeah, we're doing a lot.
Last year was hectic, but this year it's organized.
Say it again.
Last year was
Say it again?
hectic, but this year, last year was hectic, but this year is
Mhm.
organized. You know, so
You're
and
right.
that's a good thing.
You're right.
So it's a
You're
controlled
right.
pace that you can enjoy.
Right. And I definitely know and envision that in 2025, we're going to even pick up even further in reference to all the things we're doing too. So it's really a lot of fun, great opportunity. And main thing is we're sharing information to help better prepare pets for air travel and everything. So I'm excited about it, honestly.
Absolutely. Well, before we bring our guest on, which I'm actually excited to learn about Purple Pebble and their products, I really have to chime in again on this hurricane season and the devastation that is coming through Florida. My heart really goes out for everyone and the animals. You know, it's horrible, but the constant is it's every year. And I'm not in Florida. I rarely go to Florida, so I don't know how the government or people run with reminding each other of what to do because of what they have to deal with. But I just want to say, please, people with anywhere in the world that you have natural disasters that you have to deal with on a regular basis, there is no excuse for not having an evacuation plan. This week, I shared on our Instagram and Facebook two different instances. Number one, the police had to pull up to a dog that was tied to a fence, and he was just crying for help. That is just sickening to me. And then number two, I shared a post on our social media where people went to go rescue, I think it was 3 or 4 dogs, but it was in somebody's backyard where they had a pen or an enclosure created for the dogs. They had the dogs locked in there. The water was halfway up the enclosure, and the dogs were hanging on to the fence, like crying for help. And
Right.
that there's no excuse. If you're not going to take the animals with you, let them free. But more importantly, this comes around. Create a plan for how you can get out, how the animals can get out, where to go, what to pack. You have to research all of this because, like you and I were discussing, you can't just roll up to a Marriott and expect to get a room.
No.
Because number one, even though Marriott chains do allow pets, number one, they only have one floor. So not everybody's going to be able to make it in the Marriott with a dog or a cat.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to make alternative plans. If A doesn't work, what's my B plan? You have to have a go bag. So you just have to grab it and not have to pack when the waters are coming in the doors. You have to do these things, people. It's important.
Yeah.
Um,
There's
so
quite a few great articles that's out. Veterinarians have written on just giving guidance and guidelines on what you need to do to prepare. And I mean, if you live in an area that is common, I mean, it should be common sense. When I say common, where you normally get these type of storms, then you should always be prepared. I can understand potentially locations where you don't expect, as with Hurricane Helene, the devastation that caused going up. They said close to, up near Virginia. They're saying
well, it
they
went
didn't
to
expect
Asheville, North Carolina.
that.
Asheville would never expect something like
Yes,
this.
that's what I'm saying. They never expect it. So it's understandable if they're not prepared. But it is telling us more and more that no matter where you are inland, you need to prepare for the potential because you just never know. This with Hurricane Milton and how it went across Florida, that's amazing. I have one colleague that's South Florida. She said it was a little damaged, but they were spared. Thank goodness they got rain. That's about it. But can you imagine looking at the news and all the devastation that Milton caused? That people evacuating, or the people that didn't evacuate, or the people that left and left their pets. It's devastating. So you really do need to prepare if you're going to be a pet owner. And I keep saying today, I've been talking all day long about pet friendly. You know, being pet friendly doesn't necessarily always mean pets can go wherever you want them to go. But still, if you have a pet, they're part of your family. To me, they're part of your family. You should prepare for them in an emergency just as you do for yourself. And yes, some hotels are pet friendly, but there may be guidelines with that. You need to be aware of them. And as Greta said, plan A, plan B, and that might be a plan C and plan D. Because if you're evacuating and driving up the highway, you don't know. There's a lot of other people might have pets, and there might not be accommodations for you, or your pet might not meet the stipulations of the requirements for them to house them. So you just have to be prepared, basically.
Yeah, and just one last comment. One great thing I did see was earlier in the week, a group of horse owners, ranchers in Florida, they all got together and contacted someone in Georgia, and they all caravanned their horses up to Georgia. Now that's a perfect example.
Yep.
You pool your resources together. You know, they all provided food to share amongst all the horses. You know, reached out to someone who had a ranch in Georgia that had space for all these horses. And that's what you do in preparation. And so all of those horses have nothing to worry about. I think it was like 20 horses.
Wow.
And it was just a caravan going up the highway. And this was before Milton came along. You know, I don't know if people saw in the news how people were stuck on the highway trying to get out like the day of. Well, you know, it's coming. Why would you wait the day of to leave?
They told you. They told you it's coming. Right.
So, well, I pray everyone got out safely. I hope everyone turns out well. I'm hoping that there's not a lot of casualties, and, you know, I'm sending prayers to everyone to Florida. But let's see if Ms. Heather is ready to come on and tell us about her company and her product. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm not sure. So let's, I see that, I don't know, maybe she's got a bad connection. Okay, well, why don't we do this? Maybe she's doing something to get to us. I don't see her reaching out on, let me, did you get an email from her?
I sent a message through here. Okay. Device not connected.
So I don't even know where she is. I mean, watch, she's in Florida and we're talking all this mess.
You know, very interesting. Okay, she's back, but I actually don't know her location.
She said she sent me an email having problems signing on. It's not taking my camera and microphone. Okay, so all she had to do was click a link, but I don't know.
Can she hear? Can she still hear us, or?
Her microphone's not working either. Let me reply real quick. Connect your Okay, so I think before she was trying to connect, you know how it gives you the option to connect your social media to StreamYard so your followers can watch. So I told her to disconnect that and just push her
Yeah,
link to join.
because she can
Um,
always, you can always record it and give it to her, so there's no need to attach
yeah,
that link.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, as oh, I was gonna say, until she comes on, if you want to discuss further on any of these things, or well, let's see.
So yes, so I just, I beg people to just please prepare and think of your animals when you do prepare. And
And
um,
I do know you feel strongly about this because you're the one that actually developed the article for our website in reference to preparing pets for air travel. That is something strong and near and dear to you. I definitely recognize that. Gosh, there's so many things people need to do. Honestly, just get prepared. Having them, I mean, main thing you said earlier, they rescued a dog that was chained to a fence somewhere. One of the things you should never do when in these type of situations, if anything, just let them run free. If you can't take them with you, let them loose because at least they can try to fend for themselves. If you tether them to something, I mean, thank God for the officers that rescued that dog. The dog potentially could have drowned. So just don't do that to them. Give them an opportunity to survive for themselves. Being in a pen, I guess I can understand what type of pen you're saying. They were probably a little gated little thing, a fenced in small area, and they were climbing to get out of the water. Just flooding. Consider that flooding and the potential for animals that are locked in like that or tethered. You know what? This reminds me of the time, a lot of things have changed since Hurricane Katrina and the aftermath of that. I don't think I shared it here on this site, but at that time, I was in the United States Public Health Service. I was one of many veterinary officers that was deployed to Hurricane Katrina to help in the aftermath of that. We weren't yet, we are, as far as what I did, I was not rescuing animals, but where I was is I was in a, I was in Baton Rouge at a facility that actually housed a bunch of small animals, dogs and cats, basically. They had a horse arena that they turned into a makeshift animal shelter there. And I was working there too. And my role was I actually was kind of cool. I thought I was helping to reunite the pets that were displaced from their pet owners and everything over that section. And we had photos and trying to connect the dots. And there was really a nice, rewarding stories in reference to that because we helped reunite these people. But there were so many pets that were displaced during that time frame. And I'm sure even with this, the aftermath of definitely of Milton, the way it came across and the devastation, I haven't heard of anything. I'm not in the public health service any longer, so I don't know about their activities. But I would imagine there's probably some shelters or something nearby that there's a lot of organizations that are responding to. I definitely know American Humane is responding to a lot of these events as well, with their pursuit and stuff. But it's devastating and displacing of people and their pets. Since that time frame, there were a lot of regulations changed regarding animals being housed in sometimes these shelters because a lot of the shelters at that time for people, they would turn people away if they had pets. So now there are regulations allowing them to come with them. We're also moving towards, as we said earlier, pet-friendly environments for hotels and everything. So a lot of changes have happened since then. But when it all boils down to it, really, you're as a pet owner and being a responsible pet owner, you need to be prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's there's a lot of articles on what you need and how to do it and all this stuff. But there's different things you need to do to prepare. And there's so many things to do that you can't do it last minute. So for example, you have to plan. So if you know the hurricanes are always coming typically up the coast, both coasts of Florida, you try to plan to get out of Florida. And probably the next closest state is Georgia. So, make a plan of where you're going to drive to in Georgia prior to, and not the day of, of a couple days out, you want to leave your place. so that you can be out of harm's way and not sitting on the highway for 8 hours.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be just hotels. It could be, so many other things, friends and family. Let's see. Also, the Red Cross has shelters, and you have to call them first to see if they will allow animals or if they allow a certain number, because not all shelters will.
Right.
And then let's see, you also have to pack a go bag for you, your family, and your pet, because you have to bring along their food and water and bottled water. You have to bring along what will keep them calm and comfortable. So that's their blankets and their bedding, their toys. Definitely multiple leashes, because with being anxious, they may snap, some of them, leashes and collars.
It's stressful. They're under a lot of stress. We're all under a stress, but the animals are under stress because if you were going to a shelter, it's a new environment. So they're going to be under stress. Ideally, too, if you can have a crate for them that they're, acclimated to being confined in that crate, take that with you, be better for them, because at least that crate in their mind is like, that's their little den, and they feel safe inside of it. So that would help too as well. Definitely.
Their happy place.
Yeah, and if they have any medication, they have medication needs for your pets. Unfortunately, you've got some pets that maybe are diabetic or has seizures. Make sure you have their medication available, because you don't want them to get sick during this whole process. It's stressful enough. You don't need to have a medical emergency on your hands as well.
Yeah, and most importantly, you have to have updated shots and medical record of your animals, because places can turn you away if you don't have that. They have to have updated shots. Let's see. And I would recommend taking something that IDs your pet, a current photo, maybe even if you don't have like a little card written out, the name and distinguishing markings on your pet. So just in case where you get to, your animal gets away, now you have something to show people what they're looking for. And that will help greatly.
Definitely, because again, remember I mentioned being in with Hurricane Katrina, we were trying to reunite the pet owners and their displaced pets. You come into an environment like that with a picture of your pet, and that's great. That's helping us. I shared something that was really sad. I thought during Hurricane Katrina that I encountered. There were a lot of people out there during that time frame that were also taking advantage of the situation. There were displaced pets, and people were coming in trying to just take pets. There was an opportunity. It was puppies. They could take puppies, and it was really sad. A lot of stuff that people were doing that time frame, when the main goal should have been just to take care of pets. And hate to say it, there were volunteers that were volunteering primarily, and that was their focus. It was really sad. You could see during disasters, you see the worst in people sometimes. But the main thing for you as a pet owner, if you want to retrieve your animal back, having a photograph of them and with the identifying marks of it, as Greta mentioned, is the best way to assist with reuniting you with your pet during that process. Because, with rescue situations, who knows? What if your pet, even though you're in Florida, what if out of rescue, your pet is taken to another state? And also another thing, photograph, microchipping. That's another thing that will definitely assist you in getting your pet back. So consider that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's let's see. You want to, just the trauma of trying to get out, trying to evacuate the day of, really is too much for the animal, and it's too much for you as a person. That's why I highly recommend leaving the day before, So it's less stressful. You, your family, and your pets can get to wherever you need to get to without having to worry about other crazy people on the road. And you can get to your destination a lot more relaxed. Because you just have to remember this is going to be an experience that no one wants to go through. So where you can lessen the travesty of everything, then it'll make it a little bit more tolerable for you and your pet. And the last thing you want to do is to have your pet freak out and run away, and then now you've got your pet's lost because they're just trying to get to safety.
Scared.
And yeah. So that's why it's important to have the crate, somehow contain your animal, but carry that with you. So it's for their safety and security.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow.
Well, you know what? I got an email and she said she can hear us and she can see us, but on our side, it says that she's not connected. So I can't even pull her in.
All right, let's see.
Wait a minute. I think she's, I hope she's trying. Oh, there she is. Okay, let's pull her in.
Okay. Yay!
Yay! Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. No. Let me, let's see. Can you hear us? Okay. Why don't you try to go out and come in one more time and see if that helps?
Yeah. And probably can remove that. Oh, let's see. Can we remove that one? Why it's not connected?
Yeah, maybe this is studio. So I removed that, so maybe it'll help. Because when you have two of them, it kind of, one of them gets really like wonky. So maybe removing that will help her.
I did that before. Yeah. Sorry, she's muted. I don't know if she's on mute.
Okay. Let's try it now.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh. I'm so sorry. I've been listening and waiting. I don't know. I'm not a tech person. Clearly, that's not my.
We're not the most tech savvy either. But yeah, we're with you on it.
Watching the clock, going, oh no. Okay.
No. We will. Thank you so much, Heather. I'm glad, and we understand the technical difficulties. Trust me, we are really not tech savvy. We make mistakes. We are goofy. We are just being ourselves. So hey, that's you get what you get, and what you get an authentic person. So there you go. But thank you. Thank you.
I just want to first start by saying thanks to both of you so much. I am absolutely thrilled beyond belief to be here, to have this platform, to share what I am so incredibly passionate about, and to try to help as many animals and their parents as possible. I'm just so grateful. So thank you both for making this a reality. And I'm glad that technology and I somehow keep together to make it possible as well.
It's worked. Yes. All right, before we get started, let's let Greta usually gives an intro and we'll start talking about it. But folks, we invited Heather here. She's going to share information about her Cuddle Mat and just other things that she's been doing. And yeah, take it away.
Okay. Heather Groll De Vaul or De Vaul? Which one is it? De Vaul. Okay. Heather Groll De Vaul, owner and founder of Purple Pebble for 21 years, was fueled by her passion for health and well-being of animals in creating a company that meets their needs. Purple Pebble serves multiple facets of the pet industry with its unique collection of premium US-made products. Unlike other high echelon pet product manufacturers that sell cuteness and status symbols, Purple Pebble offers practical solutions to support happy, healthy animal lifestyles. everyone, please help me welcome Heather De Vaul. Heather, we're so proud of ourselves. It took us a year and a half to get our clapping machine. So we're so proud of that.
Nice.
Yeah. So glad we finally connect, Heather. I know we met each other through what is it? It's not Agile.
Alignable.
Yes, we met through Alignable and learned about your product. Heather sent me a Cuddle Mat, and I have my other dog, Pock, has been using it and everything. I'll be honest with you, and I want you to share more about it. But I wanted to make sure it was nicely durable and clean, very easy to clean, which it is. I put turmeric powder, because you know that stuff stains. I put turmeric powder on it. I poured fruit punch all over it and everything, and threw it in the wash. Perfect. And the coolest thing about it too is I noticed when I wet it didn't absorb it. It's kind of, so it's going to keep all that wicking it away from the animal. Perfect. So please tell us more about it. I did test it, and yes, it's in great shape. Great shape.
Awesome.
It came out perfectly, no stain, nothing. Again, I was just like, turmeric, that should stain it. But nope, perfect.
And how's your doggy enjoying it?
He loves it.
Great.
Yep.
So should I just jump in? I mean, I could just
Hey,
on and on for years.
I'm excited for 10 years of your time.
Please tell us about yourself and Purple Pebble.
Well, the intro, I mean, I don't like to spend too much time on myself. I find that very unimportant. I mean, I think the important thing is that, well, the company was born out of a need. At the time when I had a bull mastiff puppy, and I had a regular old 9-to-5 job, and I was leaving that puppy in a crate all day. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's just got to be a safer, more comfortable solution than towels and blankets, because if the dog is anxious or bored and they decide they're going to start shredding up those towels, blankets, or flimsy crate mats that are so prevalent, that's a serious, that potentially cause a bowel obstruction, and that, or worse. And that was definitely not happening on my watch. Not to mention the fact that when they have, and they usually do, especially as puppies, they'll have an accident. You don't want your doggy sitting in their own wet. I mean, that's not good. I mean, I already had a heart about, crating is supposedly the thing to do. It's the right way to train your dog, and you can't, for their own safety, leave them out and about when you're at work. So just that my natural mama instinct doesn't want to see my baby in a enclosed, locked up. Yeah, who wants to lock up their baby? Nobody really. But you think about the benefits and the, the pros and cons. And I do believe in crate training. It's the right thing to do. But you want to make sure they're safe, and you want to make sure they're comfortable as possible. And as least as much as you can reduce their anxiety. Of course, that's also desirable. So I was not satisfied with what was in the marketplace and came up with my own solutions. So it started with the, actually, I believe it started with a leash. When I was training that bull mastiff, I was miserable because he's so darn strong, and it was all the leashes were cutting and burning in my hand. So I developed something that was strong, reliable, and soft as well, breathable. And that was the easiest beginning to my company. And quickly I went into the very immediate need for a better option for the crate. And then from there, I serve independently owned pet supplies, as well as we are a boarding facility, pet boarding facility favorite with the Cuddle Mat product. And I was getting some feedback that there were no soft, durable toys that were safe. And dogs with powerful jaws do deserve to have something soft and cuddly too, but not something made in China from God knows what materials and God knows what conditions by God knows what workers, to have me spend top dollar and the thing destroyed in seconds, only to have them maybe ingest it, God forbid, worst case scenario. But that wasn't working. So I decided this material that is so special that I'm going to tell you about and focus on with the Cuddle Mat is what we've made our toys out of. Also, no stuffing pieces.
Oh boy.
It was like, it's not, was wondering, was it me?
No, I guess.
No, well, until she comes back. Let me send another message. You.
Yeah, that she froze. I'm wondering if she's still talking.
Well, she's so right in a lot of things she's saying as far as the mats and everything. And from what my experience using the Cuddle Mat, honestly, I was surprised that she poured liquid on it and it just went all the way through. And it's really.
Are you there?
We hear you now. Yes, you froze up a little bit on us.
Yeah, a lot of it. Sorry about that. I saw that. I was, no. And actually,
that's okay. It's technology.
I'm doing this on my phone because my computer wasn't having it. So
That's
anyway, where was I? Yeah. So the Cuddle Mat is a really unique material. And that's what we use also for our toys for the safety. There I was. Now I know what I was saying. The foundation of my company is about safety, health, wellness, peace of mind for pet parents, and convenience. And that's something, although those things sound so incredibly basic, like where you could get that anywhere and everywhere, you really can't.
No, you can't.
Be surprised. So that's why this platform and your invitation to do this Facebook Live is so priceless for me, and the mission that I have to spread this far and wide. We are nationwide, but definitely use the publicity in the fact that we do have a truly specialty product. We do not sell to Petco. We do not sell to PetSmart. We do not sell to Walmart. And there's reasons for that. This is premium US made product. There are only 2 mills in this country that manufacture the fiber that goes into this mat. And then we make it in such a way. Let me tell you what it is. Actually, I'm talking around in circles. Cuddle Mat, my primary best-selling award-winning product, is a double-sided, ultra high pile, ultra dense synthetic lamb wool. It's stitched in a way that dogs cannot get at the stitching. The stitching is inaccessible to them. And the double-sided feature of this high pile material creates a heft. You would think it would be stuffed, but it's not. I love it when people say, "What's it stuffed with?" I would love to lay down on this. No, it's not stuffed with anything for safety reasons. That having been said, durability is something that we're so incredibly proud of and is so important for safety. And somebody saying hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I need to close it.
Her dog is loving what you're saying. So she's saying, "Amen, sister, amen."
I hear that, yes. So the durability is so key, whether you're in a crate while mom or pop is at work, or you're in a crate because you're at travel, which I, of course, want to focus on. I just want to start by saying that the durability and the heft of the product are extremely unique. I'm going to show you right now. Almost, if you can see this, almost a couple of inches thick, no stuffing. No stuffing to be ingested, no stuffing to shift and ball up on one side like it does on so many beautiful, luxurious looking beds that are so tempting for people to buy. They're costing an arm and a leg and they look great at first, but then you throw it in the laundry and you've got a beautiful cover with no support and lumps on the other side.
Right.
It's a monstrosity. It's difficult to care for. Okay, so this beats that hands down for that reason. But again, just the fact that, so for elderly animals, it's wonderful because it's not squishy. They're not climbing in and out of a squish nest donut bed. It's wonderful for puppies. So actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I get so impassioned. I get all over.
No, you're fine.
Basically, this product is excellent for dogs at every stage of life and with special needs. So starting with the puppies that wet and chew. If a dog wets this bed, it's going to, as you were saying, Dr. Bryant, it passes through underneath and wicks away on top, keeping a completely hygienic environment and the dog with no skin irritation. And then the way dogs destroy, as we all with destructive dogs out there know, they will saliva something down to make it pliable enough to rip. It is very, very difficult to do that with this product. And I want to interrupt myself and say, for everyone out there that's saying, well, is it indestructible? Is it indestructible? No, there are dogs that chew through scrap metal and drywall. And
Yeah.
there is nothing indestructible, but the best we can hope for is something that will hold up to the majority of the dogs and be difficult enough to destroy, especially if you happen to be around. It's not going to be shredded in seconds at all. They may chew off, and in a worst case scenario, like a corner, but you'll have and then it'll, by the way, it's veterinarian approved. It will pass through and not cause an obstruction if they do happen to chew off a little piece. But most of the time, it's really, really hard and doesn't happen most of the time. It's the most durable soft bedding that I have in my 21 years come across in the marketplace. I'm still very proud to have that distinction, and anybody that has one of these will, I'm sure, testify that is the case. They hold up in the laundry like nobody's business. They're not disintegrating in the laundry like so many fleecy mats, and people say, oh, I've seen fleece mats. No, this is not your average fleece mat. It's not flimsy like a fleece mat. It's not flimsy like any mat. As I showed you, and I'll just show it again. This is beefy. Okay, so the combination of the heft and the fact that it is moisture wicking, which is a key benefit to this product for the durability, for the hygiene, for the quick amount of time that it takes in the dryer. You don't even have to put it in the dryer. You could just wash it. It's almost dry, and then air dry it. The veterinarians love it because it inhibits the formation of bacteria because of the fact that it does not absorb moisture. So there's no moisture to sit and grow bacteria. So again, now we're talking about great for puppies. For the puppy whelping, it is a chosen product.
Yeah.
It is great for chewers. It is great for wetters. It is great for dogs with skin allergies or skin irritation problems, any kind of hot spots, or recovering from surgery. This material was actually used exclusively in human hospitals prior to the invention of disposables in burn units because it is that gentle on the skin. So now we're talking about something that is incredibly gentle, yet also incredibly uniquely durable. And that is worth its weight in gold. So when we talk about pet travel, which is what we're all interested in here, think about, first of all, keeping a pet as calm as possible in a stressful situation. They are naturally drawn to this material. They actually, I've seen animals hold it in their mouths in a sort of they get into this transfixed state of calm, which I can't even explain to you. But there's something about the texture of it that is calming. And it also will hold their scent without smelling.
That's nice.
It is. It's really nice and calming for them, but it doesn't smell like for us. We're not smelling any kind of dog smell. Only they can smell, which is also why, and this is a small detail, but we recommend using scent-free or in small amounts of detergent just so they can still smell their own scent. But so comfort is key. The comfort of just the material in itself, the comfort of the heft. It's almost 2 inches thick with no stuffing for safety. The fact that when they're in that crate, if and when, and I'm sure many animals in flight will have accidents, they're not sitting in wet, developing an irritation and getting even more agitated and uncomfortable.
Right.
So those things right there, I think alone are something that is different than what is out there. Certainly different than newspaper shavings that I've seen.
Yes.
And different than mats, and then also different than I know there's some very inexpensive products that are fleece-like, and they have a bolster around the perimeter, which will take away from the small amount of space that the dog has in that crate. So it's really eating up space. It's also then if they get anxious and they bite into it, and gosh knows what's inside of those bolsters, not a good option for flight, not a good option for crate use, not a good option. Really.
No, and I want to share during transport, a lot of folks don't realize that, you get your crate for your pet, and I've seen mistakes pet owners have made because they weren't aware that there's been situations I've seen where pets are in crates and they don't even put bedding inside with them. Be aware, as far as animal regulations, requirements for transport by cargo, you are, as a pet owner, you're supposed to provide some absorbable bedding, something for your pet in there for comfort. That is a requirement. I mean, actually comfort for the animal, even the size of the crate. That's it's an animal welfare requirement, but it's comfortable for them. So your cuddle mat, what it's going to bring to the table there, it's going to be the nice, comfortable bedding that you need for them, but it's not going to allow anything to come in contact with their skin as far as moisture and stuff like that. It'll wick it away. So it's a positive thing to have in reference to it. But again, back up to, again, it is actually a requirement. It's a regulatory requirement for them to have that. So imagine for your pet owner, they go and say, oh, no, we can't accept it because of blah, blah, blah. You might wonder, like, what the heck? It's required. So why not use something that's very quality based with it? Forget the newspaper. You honestly, and I have seen people try that. They'll use newspaper, black and white, and that gets all yucky. Even they sometimes people use the colored newspaper, and that bleeds, and it's yucky. So, you want to get good quality, and you want your pet to be comfortable during transport.
I hate to, what do they call it? I can't even say the word. Anthropomorphize. It means when some people get all up in arms, that dogs aren't people. Don't treat them like they're people. They're dogs. They're animals. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are animals. They are not people. However, there are certain basic elements of comfort and hygiene that must be respected, that must be followed. And newspaper shavings. Now, again, I hate to make it like I can't help myself. I always picture myself. How would you feel if you were in that crate on newspaper shavings? Or when a pet parent says, no, we can't give our dog any bedding because it's a nuisance if they rip it, or we don't want to pay for it, we'll have to keep replacing it, or we've decided they can't have it. I've heard that a lot. That's unfortunately because they don't know about the Cuddle Mat. Because it is a unique solution. There are not a lot of products out there that will provide durability and comfort and hygiene all in one. And one of the I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you?
I was just going to add to you and say that my sweet Naya, my girl, when she was a puppy, I swear to God, she ripped up every little mat or something we had for her in the crate. She pulled the bed, the stuffing out of everything we had. And for a good while, after I had her crate trained, for a good while, I wouldn't buy things like that because I knew she was going to rip it up. Like I can't. I didn't know I didn't have the right product, as you're saying. You need to know the right product for your pet so that they won't do that in situations. So yeah.
And to be really honest, I mean, and people may not like me for this, but I mean, if you don't have the right solution for pet travel, then guess what? That shouldn't be traveling. If you don't have the right solution for something that's involving a live animal that most people consider their babies, their four-legged furry children, be respectful and do the right thing. If you know what I mean? Like in all of the situations, like even what you were talking about before, I got on.
Totally agree with you, Heather. And that's why we have When Pets Fly. That's why we're doing everything we're doing to provide that education for folks, because they don't know what they don't know. Basically.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's why I'm a big mouthful here and I can't get it out fast enough. I'm sorry. Like I've
that's
lost
fine.
time and there was something else I just
Heather.
Yes.
Do you have well, first let me say I love the fact that you are a proponent of making sure the big dogs have comfort and reliability in your mat. I find that a lot of times people forget there's big dogs, and they happen to be my favorite. So thank you. Do you have mats that specifically fit crate sizes, so people don't have to fold them over or anything or cut them up?
Excellent question. We started by utilizing the Midwest crates as our guide. So our standard sizes are actually the sizes of Midwest crates because they were, at the time, 21 years ago anyway, the most prevalent, popular crate company. And yes, so we have all of the standard crate sizes and then many, many more. And if for some reason out of our very long list of sizes, you do not find what you're looking for, we have absolutely no problem whatsoever custom sizing for you. We base our pricing on square inches, labor, and waste. We do not charge any kind of additional premium for a custom size.
Okay. And also, I wanted to ask you, you gave a lot of great information on how your cuddle mats are safe and healthy for dogs. It shouldn't be a difference, but have you found them being the same for cats, or is there like something different for cats?
Another great question. So actually, this is great for all animals. And to the point where I was going to do these even for kids as nap mats in the kindergarten and stuff like that, but the insurance was too crazy. Because honestly, they are very, if and when, and I do hope, Greta, that you will get one of these, you'll see when you feel it and you put your head down on it, it is just calming. I have people that line their playroom floors with these. I have people that put them on their couches, line the couch so their expensive leather couches don't get scratched up when they want their dogs to be cuddling with them. And I have found that I do actually have them on my own couch, and I prefer to lay on the cuddle mats on my couch. They're that comfortable. But to your point, I digress. The cats and all animals, yes, they are equally effective and good. Cats happen to, I don't know as much about cats as I do about dogs, but I have learned that first of all, that the pet parents of cats are maybe, if it's even possible, more crazy than the pet parents of dogs in wanting their animals to have the very best of the best. So that's been an easy sell for me. It's just a size difference. We just make, we put it actually that the cats were stealing the dog's cuddle mat. So I ended up putting a cat on the tag and making a special size for the cats. But no, it's the same exact thing. They will, I assure you, if you have a cat, anybody out there, they will love this product. Yeah.
I was specifically thinking of a Sphinx and other hairless cats, because the pet owners have to take special care of their skin because their skin is exposed to the elements with no fur. So I was thinking, okay, in the wintertime, they even buy clothes for them specifically so that they can stay warm and their skin is protected. And then I thought, okay, well, if they lay down on your mat, because they can't lay on everything. You said that it was because it was, you gave the example of the burn victim unit. I was like, oh, this probably would be great for Sphinx cats and other hairless animals.
I'm so glad that you brought that up. I would not have thought of it, but I think you hit a nail on the head there. I think it would be ideal for that type of situation. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because those owners, they really, have to take precaution, like I said, because their skin is just exposed. This would be a great product for them because, they can't lay on everything.
This is the most gentle on the skin of any material that I know of out there. And certainly, and I can't stress this enough, people sometimes very mistakenly feel that their comforter is adequate comfort for their animal, and it really is not. It is not, and you really should have something specifically created for the health and well-being of animals if you want what's really best for their health and well-being. It is different, and they really do thrive on the support that the cuddle mat gives. I always say this is good anywhere. It's good in a crate, but it's good on the floor by itself. It's good outside on your deck. It's good in the back of your SUV. We do have an SUV size as well. It is good on furniture by itself if you're going to vacation or you're going to leave them at a pet resort. This is a pet boarding facility favorite because it calms the animals. It's durable, it's safe, it's hygienic, and it's super easy to care for and get back out into circulation. Oh, my dogs are saying hello.
Hello.
From their walk. So yeah,
He's
so
seconding everything you said.
yes, there's
He's agreeing with everything you said.
Oh, and I did want to say also, as you were talking about special needs, like for a hairless cat, the veterinary hospitals love this. They'll use it as a gurney, bring the animal into the OR and have the operation, and then another one waiting for them post-op in the crate, because they know that it is the safest, most hygienic, comfortable option for them. So this is like nobody's business. Like, no messing around. This is not just cute. This is not about cute. I have adorable, and I'd like to just show you, just because, these tags. Whoop! I don't know if you can see this. Not on my screen. Wait a minute. Can you see that?
Mhm.
Super cute, upscale, whimsical, informative tags for the pet parents. The products are not for the pet parents. The products are for the animals. The marketing is for the pet parents to, draw them in. And also, one of the reasons we like to sell to the independently owned establishments is because we believe in relationships. We believe in educating our pet parents through people like me that are passionate, that understand the difference between bling and rhinestones and fancy schmancy, and really what works and what is best for the health and well-being of the animal. So this is, premium product, but it is not fancy to look at. So it's not going to jump out at you. You have to say to your trusted local pet supply owner, who hopefully you have a nice relationship with and have been going to and talking to about your dog or cat. This is my problem. This is my challenge. I don't think I can give my dog bedding, or, my dog chews up everything, or my dog is incontinent now. It's so sad and I don't know what to do. I'm constantly changing his bedding. So many scenarios where this comes into play, and people just don't know that it exists. So that's why I like to have a relationship situation where someone goes into their trusted local pet supply and talks, and then they can start to say some of the things I'm saying, give it a try. And that's what it's all about for us.
I know you just mentioned that, it's not anything fancy to look at, but what colors does the mat come in?
So thank you for asking me that question. I would like to say that I'm going to back up a little bit, and I will answer that question. We have an upscale clientele. I would like to say the majority of our customers I would describe as, and I don't mean to plug Whole Foods, but I would say maybe a Whole Foods market demographic. People that will spend money for health and wellness.
Right.
For the benefits, not necessarily just fancy schmancy. People are feeding their raw and organic foods and treats to the dogs, and those are the people that we most appeal to, I think, because we're not the cheapest. We're not overpriced. I think in many cases you get what you pay for. And I will also just like to say right here, and I'm getting to answer your question 1 second in a very circuitous way, that when you do buy a Purple Pebble Cuddle Mat, you're not going to be buying one every week, every month, or every year. I have had my cuddle mats for longer than my dogs are alive. Okay. They are descended from my other dog. And I do have businesses, even commercial, pet care service facilities, which is really the bread and butter of my business, which says a lot for the durability of the product. After years of constant multiple dogs and multiple washings a day, I'll call and check in on them, and they'll say, "Oh no, Heather, I'm so sorry, but we're still good." And I'll say, "Wow, this product is even better than I need more customers." This is great, but not so good. But as far as the colors, I wanted to say it only comes natural. And the reason for that is the moisture wicking. It is not going to take dye. And that is actually a benefit. So I started to talk about upscale clientele. And the reason I started to go there is because people sometimes are looking to match their decor. They don't want something that looks cheap. They don't want something that's going to stick out, not coordinate. The good news here, even though I do believe the most important thing of everything is the comfort and well-being of the animal, this will coordinate with any decor and absolutely not look cheap, because it is definitely, as you will see and you will feel, very high quality product, and that is not questionable. It is just evident. So this will coordinate with any decor because of the fact that it's just that natural color. And to the point of
Just to interrupt you real quick, when
yeah,
you say natural, are we talking about like it's a cream color,
it is
it's tan?
right. Thank you. It is like a lamb's wool. And even though actually it does come completely smooth like this, it's hard to see. It will, after the first wash, become looking more like a true lamb's wool. So it won't look, it's like a creamy color, like a natural
Yeah.
creamy lamb type color. Yes.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about something safe and hygienic and even hypoallergenic, I would say, without having to be sprayed with chemicals, I would say because it inhibits the formation of bacteria, you could almost call it hypoallergenic, unless someone's a pet is allergic to polyester, which is fairly unusual. But other than that, you can rest assured that there is nothing foreign, including dye, to irritate the animal's skin. I have a competitor, if you want to call them that. There's another company, a very popular company that does mats, and they have beautiful colors. And I have heard, Heather, why don't you get colors like that so you can compete with that? I said, I don't want to compete with that. Let them do what they do. But we don't want to have recycled colored product mishmashed into something that is going to be used in with puppies or animals in surgery or post-op. That's not safe. I believe wholeheartedly, I want to say, in recycling for a desk or a chair for us or something that's, but not you. Certain applications, I think, call for purity. And this is a pure manufactured material with nothing more than the polyester, virgin polyester, which in this case is necessary, and it is not disposable. So it's not as if we are cranking out non-sustainable products left and right. They're going to last for a long time. So that's where I'm an environmentalist, and I can still feel very good and confident about putting out a product for this application, and the longevity of the product is key.
Fantastic.
So,
Well, I'm glad Dr. Bryant has one.
Yeah, I do. I'm excited about it. I probably have to get another one soon, but I honestly, like I said,
go ahead.
say it again.
You probably had no idea how much of so many things packed up into this very simple looking product. So many benefits.
Yeah. Trust me, I can see a lot of them. I mean, I can see it for as far as for pet travel. It's perfect for people, their pets in a crate. I can see also you're being used for in a veterinary hospital, just for normal, as far as a mat for the cage, for the pet in the cage. For that, I can see it during surgery. To lay it on something that if there is some leakage or whatever happens, it's whipped away from their body. Multiple uses. As you said, boarding facilities, animal shelters, plenty of opportunities there. Yeah, plenty of opportunities.
And I just also wanted to say, you reminded me of one other quick thing. I started to get into why the comforters and blankets and towels are not adequate solutions. And one of the things also about surgery, bringing that element into it, is like when an animal is resting, just like a human, like in a burn unit, like, bed sores, when you're resting in a still position for a long period of time, you can start to, develop an irritation. This product will eliminate that possibility. So another benefit to surgical use, but certainly also long flights, an animal that's sitting in the same spot for a long period of time. Yeah. It's another advantage, this particular material, over a comforter, blanket, whatever. Right. Cotton is not their friend. No. Yeah.
Dr. Bryant, do you have any questions that you want to ask Heather?
No, I think this is so great, Heather. Thank you so much for joining us. I know we had technical difficulties, but I'm happy that, and I feel confident you shared a lot of great information regarding the Cuddle Mat and all the different uses, and great learning, finally meeting you, and great learning about your whole thing with Purple Pebble and everything. But I don't have any further questions now.
Well, I know, and I apologize that we did have the technical difficulties. I know it can be, frustrating. And I think by the time you got on and all the information you shared was absolutely amazing. And, pet parents will pay for quality. They really will, over consistently paying for junk. And, so it's nice when you can find something like what you have and know that you're giving an investment in your fur baby's health and safety. I know we'd love to bring you back on so we can talk more about not just the Cuddle Mat, but other things that you've developed and really explore what Purple Pebble is about. But I want to definitely share this banner with everyone so that if they want to learn more about Purple Pebble and the Cuddle Mat, to go to your website, purplepebble.com. And, that's where they can find out more. And like I said, pay for quality. And then also to follow you on social media, Purple Pebble's social media, which is on Facebook and Instagram, and to connect with you there. What I'll do is create a nice flyer using a couple of the pictures that you sent, and after this to share some key points from our conversation. And then also I'll share with you a link to this live if you want to share with your followers on your social media as well. But we definitely promote that this Facebook Live is ready for people to view and able for them to learn about Purple Pebble.
Thank you so much, both of you. I cannot even thank you enough, really. I am just so thrilled to have the opportunity and to meet you both, and for you to allow me to get the word out there. It's just awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. I loved learning about this. And, with my 3 crazy babies, I should definitely get one myself, because they all like to sleep in my bed, but they chase my feet. They're feet chasers. So
it's kind of like first
I have to hide my feet under a blanket.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No. I was just saying I have to hide my feet under a blanket. So now I can get your thing and put it on top of my bed, and then they won't worry about my feet.
Yes. And you know what's funny? Some people tell me, and I'm the same, like, my dogs only sleep with me. They still even really like to have their place, their special spot, wherever they are, on your bed included, at the foot of the bed. They always like to have their special place wherever they are. So this will help with that.
That's good.
Oh, great. Is there any last things that you want to say to everyone before we sign off?
I would just like to encourage people to ask at their local pet supply for my product. And if they don't already carry it, perhaps they'll give me a call and I can help them carry it so that it's easy for you to pick one up. And otherwise, I am always available. I believe in talking with people like people, real over the phone, old style. So call me up anytime, 201-444-7439. And I'll be available to discuss whatever your challenges are.
Awesome.
Sounds fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Well, everyone, yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another Facebook Live. We loved having our conversation with Heather from Purple Pebble and learning so much about her fantastic products. And I hope you will go out and get one today, or at least have your boutique request a Cuddle Mat at their facility today. So until we talk to you actually next Friday, everyone have a great weekend and a safe week. Bye-bye. Hold on one second, Heather. We're shut. It shuts